Bro,
What
is
up?
up, dude?
You know,
I got
hanging
you.
out.
I got you locked up on the podcast,
Hey, I'm honored, bro.
dude. I'm
For
so
real.
so stoked to talk to you. Now, Justin Fischer, make your introduction. Welcome to the Fuck Yeah
Justin,
Volkswagens podcast.
thank you.
And I wanted to have you on because number one, I haven't talked to you in a long ass fucking time, dude. We're homies. Where have you
Bro, this
been?
been forever.
Fuck.
Forever.
I just
Like
get
we hit each other up and we slide in the DMs every now and then, but that's fucking about it, man.
damn, dude. I mean, you're a busy ass dude.
Yeah.
I'm
You
kind
too,
I'm
bro.
kind of
Shit.
a busy ass dude.
Kind of.
But shit, man, like I'll be on like Instagram or it's probably like Facebook or something, and I'll get one of those like memory, like
Yeah.
like fucking things. It'd be like, this was 8 years ago, and it'd be like me and you fucking around in my driveway, like digging in Meech's Passat, like fixing some air ride shit.
Always, bro.
Dude,
Always.
so much fucking good times, man. Oh, the
It
one
was like it was like every weekend, bro. Like
every
every
weekend, every
yeah.
fucking weekend, we were either skating. You're riding BMX. We were hitting skate parks. We were doing car shit. We were fucking with Meech.
Yeah.
Shout out Big Meech,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, shout out me for real.
I miss those days so much. The last reminder I got, dude, is I think we went to like one of the skate parks, dude. It was the Generation Center Park in like Lathrop, and you were
Okay.
driving the caddy. It was back when I had that green cat VR caddy.
Yep.
And
Yep.
like you were driving it and I was in it, and we're like two big ass fucking dudes in this little ass truck. And I like took a picture. I was like, we don't even fit in this shit.
Man, that was good shit, man.
That was a gnarly day. I think I fucking got a concussion that day trying to blunt slide a pyramid. And then you like
Yeah.
raced a group of what the fuck was that, dude? We got rolled on by a group of fucking like XJs, FJs.
Oh, yeah.
You had to give them some heat.
Man, we're always getting in some shit. Come on, man. Every time we go somewhere.
Dude, oh fuck yeah, dude. Oh, we got stories for days. I remember you like scared the shit out of that dude in San Diego.
Man, that trip was so fun, bro.
Oh, it's SoCal
So
Euro, right? Or Big
Yeah,
SoCal?
yeah.
One of those
Yeah, SoCal Euro.
Audi
Yeah.
meets, dude. That was
Yeah, it was hot as fuck out.
so fucking hot. I remember we crashed that because Bernie got us in,
Yeah,
right? And then
Yeah.
he was like trying to direct us, like, "Oh, we're gonna park here, we're gonna park here." And we were like, "Hey, dude, thanks for getting us
No.
in." we,
Yeah.
we jump around the corner. That was
Yeah.
such a great fucking trip.
Yeah. Dude, I think I've been to like 2 car shows since then.
No way.
Yeah.
Fucking me too, dude. I don't.
I
Think
don't
I've been-
really I just don't really I don't know, man. I just don't really fuck with it much, you know?
Yeah.
It's one of those things like when you after you spend so much time in the industry, you can like see through shit. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it's like there's a handful of well-built cars out there,
Mm-hmm.
but out of the sea of 300, there's like 10,
Yeah.
you know? So it's kind of like okay, you know, I drive 2 hours to see like 10 cars like I don't
Nah, I
know.
feel you, because everything was just. I mean, I kind of fucking was fucking like that too, but it was mostly like new cars on bags with wheels.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, it got very like played out kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's definitely like some cool shit out there still. Don't get me
Oh, for
wrong.
sure.
You know, I mean, there's a little ride that I do on the street bike on the weekends, and they always stop at like a little cars and coffee thing. That, you know, I saw a nice little old ass Maserati out there.
Ooh, the Mozzies.
Pretty tight.
We'll get into
Yeah.
that because you got a Mozzie.
We do, yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
you should build some custom like 22-inch RSs for that bitch.
Man, I'll tell you what, like it's on like factory air, you know, it's a Levante. So it's just a SUV. It's twin turbo V6, so it's pretty tight.
Ooh.
It's fun to drive, but it's like they have like lowering links for it and everything, you know, because factory air, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like for a while I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this and this and this, and it's like, man, I just like being able to pull in and out of driveways and not trip. It's been so many years, bro.
Oh man, how you've changed. Dude,
Yeah.
when I fucking met your ass, you were smashing around the street sweeper Mark IV Jetta. And that thing was as static low as you can get in a Mark IV.
Bro, that thing, I don't know if you remember, but us driving down 4th Street by TST, and like we drive on the crown of the road and start scraping like subframe. Yeah.
I was on air, dude. I had a,
Yeah.
I had a Jetta Sport Wagon on air. I was like, fuck this. And you're just like,
Yeah.
that was dope.
I went through like 3 oil pans in that thing in like 2 months. And
I
I
think
was
one
like,
of them was that day. I think you
might
texted me
have been,
later that day and was like, yo, I cracked another fucking pan on the way home.
that sounds about right.
Dude,
Yeah.
we would just cruise around the city and look for spots.
Yeah.
Remember? And I'd fucking pull over and be like, hey, jump this on your bike.
Yep.
You're like the stunt man.
I think it was that day too.
It was that day.
You're right. It was that day.
You text because I had to drive like an hour to get home. And you texted me before I even got home. You're like, hey, I blew another pan up. I was like, no.
And then I finally wised up after like however many oil pans. I don't think I'd done the motor mount spacers yet. So I did those and then wised up and threw a Mark III pan on. So it was steel. That way at least it didn't explode.
Yeah. That thing was still fucking low as shit.
Yeah.
The street sweeper. That was great, dude. So
Yeah.
what a good segue though, man. Like the question I always like start the podcast with is like, how did you get into Volkswagens or Euros to begin with? What's
Man.
that story?
So to be honest, it comes from my dad. My pops was always had air cooled. Like when I was growing up, and like I feel like we had like a Suburban, for like the family car, but I mean we would have like he had a 67 bus, he had a bunch of air cooled bugs, like Volkswagen Fox, like Volkswagen, like all kinds of shit. So instead of going to like Disneyland as a kid, we were going to VW shows.
Sick.
We had like a sand rail with a 1600 in it.
Nice.
So it just kind of started all with that, you know what I mean? So naturally it just kind of like
Progressed from there.
Yeah, exactly.
I share that same kind of history, dude. I grew up with the air cooleds. My grandfather owned like an air cooled mechanic shop, and he was like into like drag racing. So he would build like drag bugs and shit.
Oh yeah.
But I'm gonna ask you this question because it was kind of different for me. Why didn't you stick with air cooleds, and why did you get into the water cooled stuff?
Man, I think it was just like a generational thing. And I think because I was like, when I was getting in, we're the same age. Like when we were getting into stuff, it was like getting into like Fast and Furious type shit. You know what I mean? So it's like everyone wanted like body kits and fucking all this shit. And like at that time, you weren't doing like, it was no RWB shit then. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So,
Wings West.
Yeah. So, it's just, it's a little different, but it's funny because even I've never actually owned an air cooler myself, but I've always loved them.
Yeah. Same.
So much, dude.
Same.
Like, and I'm always like, why don't I have one? Why did I never get one?
I think we got priced out.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We're like a clear ass air cooler 911.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of where it started, man. And it just kind of progressed from there,
Dude, that's crazy how similar our stories are. Dude, what's nuts when I do this, dude, especially with like such a close homie like you, it's like I never asked you any of these fucking questions I'm about to ask you. We just hooked up and did our shit.
Yeah, too busy chilling, listening to Anti-Flag, talking about the government.
We were just punks. Yeah, dude, that's gnarly. Like when I go through this, I'm like writing down questions. I'm like, I've known this motherfucker for like a decade, and I've never asked him any of these questions. So was the Mark IV Street Sweeper? Was that your first water cooled?
No. So my very first car, actually, when I turned 16, I had to buy my own car, and my dad and I were driving around town, and we're from a small town. And there was like this black on black leather, 16 valve Mark II Scirocco.
Ooh.
And it was for sale. And this dude's in his yard or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he wanted like $3,000 for it. So
Was it clean?
yeah, it was hella clean,
Shit.
hella clean. You know, 'cause like I said, black leather. It was 5-speed. Still had
Okay.
like the little cassette tape. You know, all that shit, man.
Dude, sick.
Yeah. So it was cool, man. I didn't really do much to it, but you know, put a little stereo in it.
I
But
didn't even know you had a Mark II Rocco.
yeah,
Dude, that's
yeah.
sick. What
It's
happened?
not something I. It's not something I. You know,
Something you
take
brag
for
about?
granted.
You know, it's hella funny. Anytime I'm around in my little ass Volkswagen, some dude at a gas station will catch me and be like, I used to have a Scirocco.
Yeah.
You're going to be
yeah,
that full.
Yeah.
20 years
God,
from now, you see
no.
some kid in like a Mark 10. You're like, I used to have a Scirocco. What happened to the Scirocco?
So I mean, I drove it all through high school. I think I went through like 2 clutches in it, just because I was like burning out everywhere I went, you know. And of course,
Yeah.
I probably didn't know how to drive for shit. Um, I put it in a ditch once. That was tight.
Damn.
It didn't really get fucked up, you know what I mean? And then my parents bought it from me,
No.
and then like it ended up going to my little brother. And then to be honest with you, I don't know what happened to
Oh,
it from there.
shit. You stayed in
So it's
family
sticking
for
to
a little
family
bit?
for a minute.
No, that's
Yeah.
sick, dude.
Yeah, it
That's
was cool,
hilarious.
man. 212s in that thing. That shit hit. That was like the coolest part about it, bro. So funny story about this car. I went to Midas one day, and I had gotten a auto, like a remote start put in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, this is like 98 or 99,
Yeah.
right? And so they like had to bypass the clutch switch and all this shit, right?
Yeah,
Totally
yeah.
not legal at that time, you know. So I go to Midas to have him do something. I don't know if I was looking for an exhaust or something, you know, something. I had no clue what I was doing, you know.
Uh-huh.
So the guy takes it out back, whatever, pulls it back around the front, and I'm inside talking to the guy, and he hands me my keys back, and I always put it in neutral, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So I hit the remote start, you know, thinking like, hey, I'm cool, like, you know,
It was
this
in
kind of a
gear.
new thing. Yeah. Motherfucker jumped through the front window, bro.
What? A Midas?
Yeah, it like hopped, you know, because we'll try like so many times. Yeah, yeah. It
Hey, bro,
was
check
bad,
this
bro.
out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, oh, my bad. Sorry about your window.
Did you have to pay for it? What happened?
I think it ended up being like an insurance thing. Cause bro, I was like, you know, I was like 16, like I didn't know what the fuck to do. Then I'm just like looking like, oh my god, what is going on right now?
That's
yeah.
hilarious, dude.
It was a mess, bro. It was a mess. I was more mad that like little glass shards were like all over my hood than anything. And like, of course, I blamed it on the other guy. I'm like, this fucking idiot left
You
it
left
neutral.
it in gear, dude.
Yeah, I left it here. Yeah.
That's hilarious, bro. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
those like remote start shit back in those days was like a big deal. That was like a big mod back in the day, dude. To
Yeah.
have remote start.
It was because
You know?
nobody had that shit. You know, it was
Yeah.
like a new thing. You know,
I think I
we're
tried to
really
do.
dating ourselves. You know that, right?
I tried to do that shit in a Mark III Jetta I had, and I could never get it working right.
Really?
It, like, just never worked. I had the button, all the shit, and it just, I was like, it never worked.
At that point, like, I never did any of my own work.
Mm.
Like, I never did anything. Like, to be honest, I never really had that much of a desire to like work on cars. Like, I was wanting cool shit,
Mm-hmm.
but that I was like, I'm too busy like doing other shit. You know?
Man, isn't that crazy? And then it took a turn because then that's what you did for a while, man.
18 years, man.
Damn. We'll get into that. I'm still talking
Yeah.
about cars, though. So
Yeah.
the Mark II Rocco, you sent that thing through the front window of Midas,
Yeah.
ditched it, blew clutches
Yep.
out of it, and handed it off to the little bro.
Yeah. Here you go.
And then what'd you get into?
So I drove a Volkswagen for a minute.
Sick.
Man, and you know what? At the time, being like 18 years old, whatever, I was like embarrassed as shit. It was fishbowl, you know. I'm like, man, I don't want to drive this thing, dude. Looking back on it, because it was a two-door too.
Oh, what?
Looking back on it, I was like, damn, this shit was tight.
Yeah.
Totally would rock that shit nowadays.
Fuck yeah, dude. That'd be
Yeah.
sick as shit. That's
Hell
hilarious.
yeah.
Volkswagen.
Yeah. Yeah, and then after that, I joined the military, so I was like carless for a while. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I got in there. I think I picked up like a '02 Jetta. Terrible car, man. I mean, you know, it was automatic. It was like I just needed something at the time, and
Mm-hmm.
like my significant other at the time, and I like ended up going and picking something up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I just put that thing on some like H&R Springs, you know, and that's kind of honestly when it started. Like when I started like doing some bullshit mods, like eBay was kind of popping then,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So you get on there and just search Mark IV Jetta, and then you get all the bullshit that pops up.
All
And
kinds of shit.
oh yeah, dude, all the little like, you know, carbon or like chrome shit you could get for the interior and all this stupid shit. You look at it now, you're like, bro, it's such a waste of money.
Even like the dope shit, like you could just get like super easy back then for Mark IVs, like
For
like
sure.
factory hits, like all that shit, like super hard to find and like three
Yeah.
times more expensive nowadays. Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy how Mark IVs are expensive?
Dude, and you know what's funny? Like to this day, that's probably still my favorite Volkswagen I ever had.
Mm-hmm. The street
Not the
sweeper.
one, not that one, but like just the Mark IV, like the VR I had.
Mm-hmm.
That car, dude, I still look on Craigslist. I'm like, I would take one in a heartbeat. Just use it as a daily, bro. Like,
Boop.
dump the shit out of it again. You know, I would throw probably some 18s or 19s on it now, so
Mm-hmm. I think
it
you
doesn't
were
have to
rolling
be
17s
quite
back
so
then,
low.
right? I
Oh
think you're
yeah.
on, and that you did that on purpose because you wanted that extra
Yeah, I
low.
mean, I wanted to be low, and I kind of fucked myself because I was running those the vet wheels.
The saw
So
blades.
I did the adapters. Yep,
Yeah.
and then of course it was like, well, how wide were those? Like 9, I think,
Uh,
like 17 by 9, I think.
the rears were wide as fuck. The rears
I
were
think
wide as
well, mine
fuck.
was square. My set was
Oh,
square,
that's right.
and I was running like a 205/40 on them.
They were stretched the.
So
Dude, I remember those because you let me borrow them. Remember, I threw them on my
yeah,
wagon.
yep, yeah, dude. It was like it's funny because I was thinking about all this the
Those
other
were
day.
16s, weren't they?
17.
Were they
There were 17.
17s? Okay. They
Yep.
were like
Yeah,
the anniversary edition saw blades, though, right?
they were.
They weren't
Yeah,
like
'cause
the
they were
run
a
of the
little
mill.
different.
Yeah,
Yep,
those
they
were
were a little
sick.
different. And then I had them powdered black.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, we used to trade wheels like it was like kids sharing toys and shit. Like, okay, you can borrow this and like for this week,
You
whatever.
never let me fuck with them candy RSs though.
Hey, we put them on your ride for a minute. I
That's
think they
true.
look too small on there, bro, on your wagon.
We did
I
test
think
fit
they look
them.
too small.
We did. We
Yeah.
test fit them. I aired out, and you're like, "All right, take that shit off."
That was like the only nice thing I had,
Take
bro.
that shit off, bro. Oh, dude,
Oh
the fucking
man.
good old days. So yeah,
Yeah.
so then street sweeper,
Yep.
and then about that time is when you started working at TST, right?
Yeah.
So
So I actually started at TST. Yeah, it was when I had the street sweeper. I also had I picked up a Mark One TT. I actually had two of those.
hmm
I had a coupe and then I had a roadster also. I
I
didn't really
remember
do
that.
much for 'em. Yeah, I just like I put them on some coilovers. The coupe I had on some Bilsteins, and then I did some like I don't know if you remember the Mod Shack stuff. I don't know if it's still
Mm.
around. Like on the Vortex, there was a dude that was like super nerding out about the TTs, and it was like, of course, it's like older cat. And he made like these he made MAF housings and he made intakes. And
Oh
there was
shit, I
something
don't
else
remember
like he
that.
did too. Yeah, but it was like all TT stuff. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I did that kind of stuff to it. And that was really about it. And then the Roadster, I ended up actually, I was at Wyotech then.
Mm.
I was in school, and I ended up taking the crash bars, and I like milled them down so that they sat like flush with the top of the headrest, which is totally not safe at all.
Don't want to roll that shit.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, that was just on some coilovers too, and like some whatever
I
18s.
remember that. That was
But
right when I first met you.
yeah, yeah,
Around
yeah,
that
yeah.
time.
Yeah, and then yeah, when I was at school, so I had actually met Tim at a car show,
Hmm
and did talk to him for a while and stuff, and like I'm very much one of those people like I find something that I want, like, and I always hold my standards high. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want some like bullshit mediocre place. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like I want to go to a place, especially with a job, like
Yeah.
a place where I can learn, a place where like I'm gonna be able to get something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Kind of push your talents, push your skill
Yeah,
sets,
yeah,
be
for
challenged.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really liked what they were doing. I think he probably had his caddy at the show, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I talked to him. Of course, I was like, trying to be like, oh, like trying to get in there. You know what I mean? And he's just like, who the fuck is this kid? Like, my throat was all done at that time too. Like, he's just like, who the fuck are you? And so I just like showed up at the shop one day, and I got out of school at like 2:30 or something like that every day,
Mm-hmm.
and that was up in Sac, and so I would drive back down to Oakland where I was living,
Yeah.
and I would just go into the shop, and I just like showed up, and I was like, well, one of two things are gonna happen: either he's gonna start paying me, or he's gonna tell me to stop coming in. So that shit happened for like 2 months, man, and then finally it was like finals time or something. I was like, hey man, I'm not gonna be able to come in for a while,
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like a month later, he hit me up and was like, hey, I want to know if you want to come in and work. So
Sick.
that was kind of like how that all transpired, if you will,
Yeah, that's dope. You kind of just forced yourself into a job. You're like, oh, I'm here, dude.
I mean, my thing was like I said, I really liked what they did, and it was something that was different. You know what I mean? It wasn't like your typical like oil change, lube oil filter type shit. It was like they were doing shit that nobody else, especially in that area,
Yeah.
were really doing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had a lot of respect for that. And the stuff that they did was not only different, but it was clean.
Yeah.
It was very well done.
For
so
sure, dude.
I was like, what better people to learn from? You know what I mean? Or what better person to learn from?
Those dudes are turning out a lot of bangers. Shout out to Tomas Sport
Yeah.
Tuning. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's when we started kicking it a lot because I would just roll by there because I was always homies with
Yep.
Tim and Ken and Matt
Yep.
and all those dudes. And I would just pop by randomly being in the area and just be like, what you guys got? Fucking walking through the shop. Oh, what's this? Oh,
Yeah.
who's doing this swap? And they always had crazy shit going on. Tim was always working on
Yeah.
crazy shit.
Yep.
And I would just bug your ass.
Yeah.
What are you
No,
doing
it's
back here, Justin? Welding some shit. You're always welding some shit.
Yeah.
Every time I went there, you were welding a bracket, making brackets.
I was the only one that knew how to weld, really. Like Tim could do a little bit, you know what I mean? Like he could do a little MIG and stuff, but not a little. Like he obviously could handle his own, but you know what I mean? It was like that was part of what I went to school for,
All the
It
fab
was like
stuff.
I would spend all day welding at school, and then I would go there and like, okay, make this, make that,
And you were making shit for everything because TST, dude, they work on Dubs, Audis, air-cooled, fucking Vanagons,
Yeah.
Lambos.
Man, I had some air-cooled stuff, project cars there than I did anything else, I think.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. The fucking air-cooleds are always in your bay. You're
Yeah.
always fucking around with those things. What's
He
the...
put me. I'm not the fastest, bro. Admittedly, I'm not the fastest fucking person. But I was always very meticulous.
Yeah, you're very... That's one thing because, not to cut you off, but we would fuck around in my garage.
Yeah.
And you would be like, hold on. Slow this shit down. And you were super meticulous, but the shit, you made sure everything was right. You know, everything was
I mean,
like...
at the end of the day, that's like your business card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I always wanted to make sure that like, I would be pissed off as a customer if I went and took my shit somewhere and then I got it back and there's a bunch of shit that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Or you get, you take a road trip. Like, we dealt with that with Meech when we went to San Diego. Remember, we get there and like having to work on this shit in the parking garage. Like, no one wants to have to do that, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot who did Meech's air ride, dude. Was it for that Because Bags, dude?
Yeah.
I'm gonna shout his name out, but I'm sorry, Meech, bro. I love you. Meech is gonna be here next week in person, dude. We're gonna do a podcast.
What?
Yeah, bro.
Live and in the flesh?
Live and in the flesh. I'm so
Damn.
stoked for that. But yeah, that fool always had issues with his air ride. Whoever hooked up all the fittings used like some fucking plumber fucking shit, and we couldn't get the fitting lines like to separate. Remember that shit?
Dude,
We're
yes.
like, what the fuck?
And yes, and when we got to San Diego, we're sitting in the parking garage, and some shit happened. I don't remember what. So I was like, all right, cool, let's pop the fuse panel. So we look in the fuse box, and he had like stripped the wire hella long and just shoved it in the spot for the fuse, and then shoved the fuse in so it made contact. And
I
like that
remember
was
that.
the fuse. I'm like, oh my
I
god,
remember
bro!
that. Like, Meech,
Like,
this fool
fix this shit.
fucked your car.
Yeah, I used to always carry like a little like pack, like a safety, like like a fucking whatever thing with me. So I had like, I think I had some extra fuse shit, or like add a fuse, whatever.
Yeah.
But we handled it.
You
But
had
yeah,
a little
bro, it was a mess.
emergency fix a homie,
Yes.
fix a homie kit. Dude.
Or fix my own shit. Who
Fix your
knows,
own shit.
man?
Oh,
I never
shit.
wanted to get caught up on the side of the road,
Yeah. Nah, dude. Those are the fucking great days. What was like working back at TST? What was like the dopest build that you got your hands on?
Man, honestly, it might sound kind of weird because I did a lot of really cool stuff there. But I think one of the things that like I'm most stoked on is we had actually a customer from here in LA. It was another shop, and they had contracted us. They had a customer come to them who had a 67 bus, a splitty, and they wanted to make it more drivable. Like they wanted to make it more reliable. Obviously, like air cooled, like you're kind of limited to an extent. You know what I mean? If you're talking like long road trip shit. So Tim talked to the people that were contracting us, and basically I ended up putting in an ABA.
Sick, dude. I think I remember that thing.
Yeah,
dude, I totally fucking remember
like
that.
red and white, all patina. But there was a lot of work, man. Like I'm very big on like simplicity. You know what I mean? Like, so we used a Mark III motor. So I wanted to use all Mark III shit with it. I ended up having to use like a B5 motor mount or something like that for it. But like motor mount bracket was all like ABA, and then a radiator, all that shit was all like from a Mark III.
Did you guys get a donor car? Did you like find a donor car and like swap all the shit in there? Or did you have to piece
I don't
everything?
remember how. No, most of the shit was new. I don't remember how he came up on the motor. But he basically, Tim set up the motor and he got an adapter plate. And then for the training, like that was really about it, bro. Like everything else was like, here you go.
Dude, I remember that now that you said it. I remember I would cruise by, dude, and fuck with you guys and try to take you guys out to grab beers at lunch and shit. And you guys are working on that. That was in the shop for a little while.
It was, yeah. It was a big project, man.
Fuck
I
yeah.
mean, I wanted like, and I think as a between Tim and I, because he and I are the only ones that really like collaborated on it, like threw ideas around, but we wanted to keep it looking as OG as possible. You know, I mean, I was like that with everything that I did. I didn't want it to look like, you see so many cars that are like motor swaps and whatever, and like you got a fucked up ass dash in there that don't look right, and like, you know what I mean?
The cluster's all like hanging behind, dude, just like shoved it in there.
Yeah, it's not even for that car and shit. Like, you got like a dash for a Civic, you're like gauge cluster for a Civic. Like, come on, man.
That's like some shit I did, and you'd cruise through and be like, "Hey, bro, what the fuck are you doing?"
We're like, we're gonna change this.
Remember that silver ABA Rabbit? I like pulled the dash out, and I was like, "I'm just gonna put the cluster right here on top of the steering column." You're like, "No, dude."
No.
You're like, at least rock some gauges or like build a custom dashboard or something. I was like, "No, I'm just gonna zip tie this shit right here, dude."
Yes.
That was crazy though. You got like, fuck, man. Those are some cool ass days where I'd go through and watch you guys all work. I remember that same Rabbit when you and Tim did the ABA swap. You guys fucking had that motor in the car in like 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, Tim is like, I mean, I'm pretty sure he could do that shit with like one arm behind his back and then like blindfold on.
Fuck yeah.
Like, ABA swaps are like nothing. It's like butter and toast for him, bro.
Dude,
like,
you guys stabbed that in like fucking nothing. He was just like, "Yeah, bring it by one day. We'll get it in here." And like showed up. And boom. He's like, "All right, get out of here."
Yeah. No, that was cool, man.
Man, it was super fun back those days, just like going there and hanging out with you guys. Man, I miss.
Man, I loved it. Shit. Honestly, it was cool. Yeah, it was a good vibe there a lot of times.
Yeah, I'd always show up and like fucking make you guys like less productive. I'm like, "Hey Tim, what's up? Hey Ken, what's up? Hey Matt, Justin, let's go get some beers." They're like, "Man, we're fucking working here, bro."
No, man, it was cool. It's funny. Like, I think I ran across a picture not too long ago when you pulled up in your Mark 7. And it wasn't long after you got it. You had done the CH's like that green color.
Yeah.
It was like a trans, like chameleon green or something.
Those are
I don't
actually
know.
from the JSW. I just kept
Right.
them,
Yes.
slapped them
Yes.
on.
Yeah. And then I think it was the day you did the stage 2 in it or something.
Mm-hmm. All
But
the
like,
GIAC stuff.
there's like a picture like from behind of like 4 of us all like at different angles, like taking photos of. I'm like laying on the ground.
Tim was like prone, dude. I remember that day.
Oh, it was so funny, dude.
Oh,
That
dude.
was like the beginning of Instagram, you
Dude,
know?
yeah, that was fucking, yeah, dude, that was like, I think I had that car for a week. And then I hit you guys up and I was like, I want to do H&R coilovers and then whatever software. And I think there was only like 2 companies at that time because those Mark 7s were so new. It was like GIAC and like one other company.
Yeah.
And Tim was like, we get a good hookup with the GIAC if you want to run that. I was like, let's do that. Let's do the coils. Let's fucking throw some tires on these wheels. And then he banged it all out in one day. And
Yeah. Yeah, always, man. And you know how it is, man. Like anytime like one of the homies rolls through, it's like make sure it's taken care of, you know?
Yeah, dude. Man,
Like,
I
get
always
it done
had
quick and-
so much fucking fun. That shit was like an hour and a half for me to drive there with traffic and shit. And I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I remember I was telling the story the other to someone at a Dubs and Donuts meet. So I had the Mark 6 JSW. I bagged that the weekend I got it, and then I took it to... No, it wasn't the Mark 6. It was the Mark 4 R32. One of them. Anyways, like we forgot to... I think it was the R32, because we were like super late one night finishing up all the air ride on it. And then we forgot to like bolt the rear subframe back up.
It was the R32.
You remember that, right?
I think so, yeah.
No, was it the wagon?
No,
Fucking, I
it might
can't
have been
remember, dude.
It might have been the JSW.
I can't remember. We were fucking with something, and I was like driving back home, and I was like hearing all this gnarly rattling. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck's that noise? And then I hit up Simon, and I was like, did we tighten their subframe? He's like, oh fuck.
Yes,
Pull over.
I think it was JSW because I remember you being like, bro, the bowl was hanging out like this far.
I got under the car and it had a light and I had like some tools and shit from being there. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I was able to like impact him. And the next morning I like checked him out, but that was like
Crisis averted in that one. Holy shit.
Dude. Man, those are the fucking days. I miss all you guys. I'm trying to get like Tim and Ken and all those dudes on here too to chat.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
yeah, dude. They said they'd come do it. It's just like nailing everyone down. Everyone's so fucking busy.
I know.
You know, and I'm just bugging everyone with the dumb podcast.
Life changes, man. Like, you know, shit changes and it's whatever, man. Honestly, when you hit me up, I was like, fuck yeah, I'll come on here.
Fuck,
Of
dude.
course.
You're like one dude I had on the top of my guest list. I
Man,
have all
that's
the
cool.
homies I want to talk to you from back in the day, dude. Because we had so much fucking great times and memories, dude. Going down to SoCal, just fucking around with cars. And the funny thing is we used to do that anti-scene shit. Remember?
Yeah.
Like we used to have those stickers. Because we all kind of fell out of it. You know what I mean? For a while, but it was just us homies that would stick together. And sometimes we'd roll to shows, but it was like an adventure. We're like, oh, we're going to go out here, you know?
Yeah, it was just something to do. Like, it gave us a destination, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was like, I think we were all just kind of like, the scene's kind of whack right now, bro. It's like you said, it's like air riding wheels and everyone thinks they got a show car. Like, you know,
Well,
I remember slapping that sticker right next to my Mark 6 when we had it at the, what was it, Waterfest or whatever? What's the one they had?
Water wagons on the
Water,
bay.
Yeah, on the bay. And so we were like parked inside and like on my Mark 6 I had the RSs and we slapped it like right in front of the RS.
Everyone's like anti-scene. We're like,
Yeah, everyone's just like, what?
It wasn't just the fact that people like were just doing wheels and bags, because I was guilty of that with my JSW, but I didn't want to do more
Yeah,
than
me
that.
too.
I didn't want to do more than that to that car. But I
Yeah.
wasn't like, we never had that fucking attitude like our shit was like super gangster or super dope.
Yep.
It was just like, oh, we're just fucking around with air riding wheels and having a good time. And some dudes
You
were
just gotta
doing
clean
it.
daily.
Yeah, and some dudes were
Yeah.
doing it, and they were like fucking clout chasing, you know.
For sure.
And that's when it got annoying to us, and we started doing that shit.
Yeah, for sure.
But
it was just something for us to do, man. It was cool because like through that, like I met a lot of really cool people, like you and Meech mainly. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, because we kind of stuck together, and it was like we all rode track bikes. You know, we'd fuck around on that. You know,
I tried. You and Meech were the dudes who rode track bikes.
Guys, whatever, man.
I was like, I'll get up on this fixie. Bro, you hooked me up with my first fixie. Remember that shit? It was that steel fucking Satan sled, dude. I love that bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I beat the shit out of that thing.
I almost died on it like 10 times.
Yeah, me too, I'm sure.
I remember going to San Diego and you fools were like, oh, we're going to ride to La Jolla. We're going to go here, dude. And I like barely made it back. I was like all cramping and shit.
Bro, I think we all kind of barely made it because we were all like, you know, you get in that mindset where you're like, oh yeah, it's 30 miles, it's nothing, you know? And then like 5 miles in, you're like, it's been like 6 months since I've ridden, bro. Like what the fuck was I thinking?
That was when Meech hooked me up with that felt bike.
Yep.
And I just learned how to skid. Remember?
Yeah.
And I was doing nothing but fucking skidding everywhere. And Meech's like, hey, you got a hole in your tire, bro. We got 14 miles to get back. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, we had the bright idea of riding from downtown to like Pacific Beach and all that shit, like taking the bay. Dude, that was a trek too.
That was a trek, bro.
Yeah.
But dude, this is straight good times, dude.
Yeah. That was fun though. Like honestly, like I value that shit a lot. You know what I mean? Because like we got a lot of good memories out of it. Even just that trip alone.
Hell yeah, dude.
Know?
That trip was super eventful. So we were going to SoCal Euro. I had my JSW. Meech had his Passat back then, I think, right? His bagged Passat. And you had the bagged TDI.
Yep, the Golf.
Golf, 4-door.
Yep.
And we were just smashing all white.
Yep, all white. Yeah,
3 white cars.
Yeah.
And fuck, dude, that was like a weekend. Like a holiday weekend, dude. I think
it was like Memorial Day or something like that.
Memorial Day or Labor Day.
Labor Day weekend.
And it
something like that.
took Meech and I, because you were already down there, right? You were down in LA, weren't you?
No. I was in. Oh wait, was I?
I think you were already down, dude.
You might be right.
You're already down. So me and Meech had to drive out, and it took us like 15 hours.
I remember our trek through LA was stupid, bro.
It's usually like a 5-hour drive.
I think I was. Yeah, it is like a 5-hour drive.
5-hour to LA, and then another couple to San Diego.
Yeah.
3 maybe, and it took us like 15 fucking hours to do that drive.
Yeah. No, I was in Oakland then, because I remember coming out to your house at like some stupid time in the morning. I feel like.
Dude, maybe you're right.
I think I was then, and then man, I feel like there was a trip where I was already here in LA that we took.
I thought that was it.
Man, no, because I remember that drive though.
Dude, that drive fucking.
I remember it taking us like stupid amount of time. I remember we got hemmed up in traffic in LA, and like I was fucking with my air ride, and I like had it like on a real low setting, and then that was at the time when I had it set up so it split lip when I aired out, and we took off, and like I wasn't thinking when traffic picked up. And then we get to like the next spot where we stopped and then like burnt the shit out of my fenders.
See, I think you were right in front of me when that was happening. I was texting you. I was like, bro, air up. You just had your hand out the window. You were like fucking cruising. I'm like, air up.
And then the music or something, like not paying attention. And smoke rolling off my fucking tire.
Dude, that was sick. Oh, man. So you did some time at TST. You did... You know, you got your hands dirty on a bunch of cool ass projects. I know that ABA air cool bus swap wasn't the only dope thing that you had touched. And then after that, was that when you relocated and went down to LA?
Yeah, I did. I moved down here. My significant other at the time got a job transfer, so I came down here with no job,
Mm.
and just started kind of like almost kind of doing the same sort of thing that I did there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, what are some shops I would be cool working at? And so I just started handing out resumes,
Mm.
you know,
You,
and yeah, I rolled into a couple shops. Went into West Coast Customs, went into like Galpin and like, you know, like to gas and stuff like that. And
mm-hmm.
places that I knew did like a lot of fabrication stuff, you
Yeah.
know, did some custom stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And man, I think within like that first week, uh, West Coast hit me up and wanted me to come in and do like a little trial thing because they wanted me in the fabrication shop.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. I was like, they wanted me for a week, and so I was like, yeah, for sure, you know. And then, man, I think it was like on the third day they were like, okay, we want to bring you on.
Sick.
I was like, all right, cool.
So you
Yeah.
ended up at West Coast Customs, the infamous
Yeah.
West Coast Customs. And I remember that shit. I remember when you moved, dude. I was super bummed. I was like,
Yeah, I
"Oh,
remember too.
man, this fucking dude's
I
taking
know.
off, bro." I remember like chilling at your pad in the hood in Oakland, and
Yeah.
we were chilling outside. What were we doing, dude, that day? We spent the whole day hanging out in front of your Oakland pad.
We
We were like
did
giving
like
away
like,
furniture
did,
and
like,
shit. You were like trying to give away furniture. You're like, I'm taking this shit with me. You're trying to
no.
give couches and shit to people.
Yeah. Oh, that's like the Oakland way though, bro. Like you said it outside. Someone's
Dudes would
gonna-
walk by, be like, "Hey, y'all want a recliner?" And they're like, "What'd you say? Y'all want a recliner?" And they're like, "Oh, that thing was pretty clean. We'll be back." Yeah, dude, I remember that too. I remember when you texted me and you're like, "Bro, I got a job at West Coast Customs." I was like, "What? Like
Yeah.
West Coast Customs?" You're like, "Yeah." It's like shit.
Like-
And then I saw you on TV.
Yeah.
I like saw you on an episode.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy, man.
how did that all go, dude? How was it working at West Coast Customs? Because there's some drama out there about them.
Yeah, there's some drama for sure. um it's I mean, so the dude that hired me, he and his brother both work there in the fabrication shop. And shout out Esteban and Tony because they were like the OGs there, you know, and there was like another dude that worked in the fab shop who was like triple OG,
Mm.
and all Hispanics, which I don't know much Spanish at all, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And but it was cool. Like they took me in, you know what I mean? And a lot of the people there, I would say 98% are Hispanic, you know, so a lot of Spanish going on, and I don't know shit, you know. But yeah, man, it was interesting. Like the first, we started filming the very first day I was there, like before I was even getting
Shit.
paid. Bro. Like I was just in there in like street clothes, like, you know.
Like,
there's a
hey, do I
camera-
get royalties for every time this airs, or how does this shit work?
Yeah, you don't get shit.
So, dude, hella funny. So you text me with that shit, and this is
Yeah.
completely coincidental. We're going back and forth. You're like, "Bro, I think I got a job at West Coast Customs." I was like, "What the fuck, seriously?" And then we're like texting and shit. A week later, I'm randomly watching TV, and that fucking episode pops up, and you're on there. I'm like, "What's motherfucking Justin?" You know, my wife Trista. I bring her, I'm
Yeah.
like, "Fucking Justin's on TV," and then I was expecting to see you fucking like welding brackets. And you were like, weren't you like screwing wood panels to the inside of an RV or some shit? I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Man, in true West Coast fashion, it's just a fucking shit show. And yeah, we were making this, like, took this big box truck, and we're making it like a mobile display for this barbecue company. They made like grills and shit. And so yeah, the whole flooring on the inside, like we made the doors fold out, you know, so it was just like a big open thing that people could walk around on, whatever.
Sick.
Yeah, so basically the first like however long month or two I was there, I learned how to fucking put wood in on floor. Like do wood flooring like you would in a house, you know what I mean?
This
I'm like,
fool went to West Coast Customs to be a carpenter.
Yeah, it's real talk. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Dude, what were you driving? What were you driving back when you were working at West Coast?
Well, we skipped my Jetta Coupe. I totally forgot about
shit. Dude, that car was
Yeah.
epic too. Fuck.
that, bro. To this day,
Regret.
I regret.
Dude,
car.
I fucking loved, dude. I had so many good memories about that car, bro. You got that.
Yep.
It was so clean.
So clean. Like
Super clean.
3,000 miles or something stupid.
Everything, the interior, immaculate, body, fucking clean, clean car.
Yeah,
What
no
was it?
cracks in the
ABA?
dash.
ABA swap?
No, I did the ABA swap.
That's right. You did the ABA and the air.
Yep.
And what wheels did you have on it?
Because it had V2s on it when I bought it.
That's right.
And it was like a customer of ours that was like pregnant, and she just didn't need the car anymore. You know, I mean, what pregnant bitch wants to ride around?
I remember when you drove that out to my house.
Yeah.
You drove that out and showed up one day, and you're like, "Look what I got." I was like, "What the fuck?"
That was like that day. I don't know if I'm sure you remember, but like that was like a complete transformation of the vehicle in like 5 hours, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Like we did like even just like little things, like we sucked the bumpers in, you know, because it had the American bumpers on it.
Fuck, you showed up at my house. I remember, dude. We did all that shit. A bunch of. Did we throw wheels on it?
We did. We threw the 13s on there.
That's right, dude.
Yep.
We threw some 13s that we had chilling. Sucked the bumpers in.
Yeah, I feel like there was a couple other things we did too, but I don't remember.
Oh, dude, that was such a fucking fun. That was a rad car, dude. And then I remember you doing the ABA swap.
Yep.
And then the bags.
Yep.
And then I remember
kind of a waste, to be honest.
Like, you're already pretty low in that thing, but it gave you. You loved that car, so you actually drove it at a normal ride height. That's how I could tell you liked the car. Because you were like not trying to scrape around in that thing. You're like,
man, I love that thing. I drove it everywhere too, man.
Fuck, dude.
Everywhere.
I remember so many memories about that Jetta Coupe. The first one was right after you got the bags done, and we were at the Waterworks on the Bay show, and they had the air ride Limbo.
Yep.
And we entered that, and my
you drove through.
Yeah. And my son, dude, who's like 1.
Yeah.
He, like, was just on your lap, like fucking, you know, like so stoked to be in a car, and like, you know, the air ride Limbo, like it's just lined with people. And I just remember my son like on your lap, like just fucking looking around, like so stoked. I was like, this is so sick. I have a picture of him. I'll send it to you. I have a picture of him, I think, on your lap. Dude, that was
yeah. No, that was cool, man. That was a good time.
He loved that car too. Remember we gave him like a microfiber, and he was like going around like he was.
It was like cleaning
shit.
Yeah. Man, I did the air on that thing the night before.
That's
that
right.
Show. Yeah.
You banged it in literally in a day, cause
it was like,
you hit me up, and I can't remember what I was doing. I think I was working late, but you're like, I'm gonna bag the fucking Jetta tonight or some shit. And I'm like, fuck, I can't roll out and help you, but I want to be there.
Tim was supposed to help me, and then like something happened. I like started getting it torn apart. Like something happened, like one of his friends needed help or something, and he dipped, and I was just like, well, it's halfway torn apart now. Like,
I think I remember you texting me at like 1 a.m. You're like, I'm gonna make it.
It was questionable, bro.
Because we were talking about it. You're like, dude, I'm either gonna be there or I'm not gonna make it in the Jetta. But fucking, you did it. You made it.
Yep.
That was great.
Yeah. No, that was cool, man. I love that car.
The second story I remember was fucking, you got a photo shoot with some dude with that thing. And it was like on
a Japanese magazine.
Yeah, I forgot what the name of that magazine was, but
dude, AF Imp.
AF Imp. That's right.
Because I actually did a shoot with the Jetta and my Golf.
And you guys did, you and Tim did a shot with the Caddy that was in there back in the day.
When he had the bike made, the
G2. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we did a whole article for that one.
That was sick. So you hit me up one day and you're like, hey, we're going to go on a photo shoot. I think I met you at your house in Oakland, and I think I rode with you in the coupe.
Yeah. Yep.
To Mare Island. Right?
Yeah.
Is where we did the shoot.
So we're like, whatever base. What base was it?
I think it was Mare Island. Like,
was it Mare Island?
Yeah, like Napa.
What's the one up in Vallejo?
Is that? I think that's Mare Island.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Okay.
Maybe. We cruised to one spot. We tried to do the shoot in like downtown Vallejo or Benicia, but we couldn't. Like, we couldn't get a good spot.
Happened. It was a bust.
And then we went we ended up at Mare Island, I think. And then we were like doing the shoot and shit. You know, did that ever come out? I never even fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a copy of it in my toolbox.
Damn, dude. Send me some pictures
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I remember we were doing that shoot, and then we were like fucking around, and we got chased by a fucking psycho turkey.
Yes, dude, he was
Remember
like
that
pecking at the window and shit.
You're like, I'm about to get out and fuck this turkey up, dude, if he scratches my face.
Yes. Dude, I was scared to get out the car, bro.
We both were. We're like, hey, what do we do?
He wasn't playing.
He was not. He was not playing. And we're sitting here, your big ass and my big ass. We're all tattooed. We're in this little Jetta coupe, and we're scared of this fucking turkey that's running around the car. And
Yeah.
some dude rolls up in a truck, and you're like, I'm about to kill this thing. He's like, you can't. It's against the law.
Yeah.
You can't kill a turkey.
It was like some park ranger type dude. It was like,
We're like,
you
dude,
know,
we'll fucking do something.
yeah. Bro, that thing was crazy, bro. Crazy.
I've never been chased by a turkey before, dude.
No,
but I
and I haven't since then.
I could see how people say they're like related to dinosaurs. That fucking was like a velociraptor, dude.
Yeah, it was. It was. That shit was sketchy, bro.
That's the funniest thing, dude. I could just imagine being that park ranger cruising by and seeing like me and you in this little Jetta coupe, like all scared of a turkey, like these fucking dumbasses.
We were like the only car in sight, too. There's like nothing around, you know?
No, I think we were gonna do our own separate shoot.
Yeah.
Remember? We were like, oh, let's go do our own little separate photo shoot or whatever, and then we
Yeah.
got fucking outed by turkeys.
Yeah.
Which-
Man, we were always doing photo shoots and shit.
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
Oh, we just needed an excuse to go do shit, and we always called it a photo shoot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Half
Yeah.
the time we'd
You know,
go places and post up and not even take pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. Always going to some sketchy ass spots, too.
Yeah, because those are the best backdrops.
Yeah.
know?
Like rolling through West Oakland, we'd like cross over like San Leandro and like, you know, you're like rolling through West Oakland like fucking trap house. There's like a Wraith parked in front. Like, okay, just gonna keep rolling.
We won't take pictures here. That's
Yeah.
hella funny, dude. And we'd be on a little Jetta coupe.
Yeah. Man, I legit, bro, like, I don't regret shit in my life. Like, it's always been one of those, like, you know what, like, it's cool, everything happens for a reason type shit, bro. That is the only thing I regret is selling that car.
Fuck, man.
Because I'm never, you know, it's one of those things, like, I'm never going to find one like that.
Yeah.
You
That
know what I
was
mean?
exceptionally clean.
So clean.
Exceptionally clean, dude.
Yeah. Picked up the motor for free. I got the motor for free, did a 5-speed swap.
I
like,
think
did a
the
manual swap
interior
for it.
was like a 1-year interior for the
Dude,
Jetta
yeah,
coupes.
the black and white.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. It was fucking, man, that was such a rad
Insane.
car. What? Did you take that down to LA? Did you?
Yeah.
You moved with that, right?
Yeah, I sold it down here.
Damn, dude.
I actually sold it to some kid who lived up there. I don't remember where
Shit.
exactly.
Damn.
But yeah, he lived up that way.
You should try to bin track it, dude. Try
Bro,
to
I
get
still got a
shit
key
back.
for that motherfucker. Hey,
Yoink!
I know this shit's getting posted, but we'll just leave it at that.
I'll cut that shit out.
Yeah, let's just do a quick edit on that.
Dude, I can't believe I almost glossed over the Jetta coupe, dude.
Yeah, I forgot too, honestly. Totally
Fuck,
forgot.
That was back when I had the fucking the caddy, the VR swapped caddy.
You had the caddy before it went to Meech.
Yep.
Yep.
And I would roll out, and you had
Yep.
the coupe, and I'd be like, "Bro, where we going?" I'd be like, "Let's
Yeah.
roll here," and I'd fucking.
Man, we talked about rolling to H2O so many times.
Oh, dude, we were gonna cross country drive our Mark Ones.
Yeah.
We were like
Yeah,
serious
you're right,
about that.
That was totally your idea. I was like, "Are you serious? Because that's a trek, bro."
I was like,
That's
"Fuck
a
yeah,
trek."
I'm serious. Let's do it." I was dead serious, bro.
And of course, I was game. I'm like, I'm not gonna say no. Like, that's not what happens. I'm just, you know, on the slight chance that you might change your mind. I'm like, "Are you sure?"
Forgot why we didn't do it, dude. I wanted to
I
do
think-
everything. Went back.
I
to
know for me, it was like, I think it was just a matter of like free time.
Yeah.
You know, like I just working so much,
I
like
think,
I didn't really have no time
yeah,
off. You
I
know what
think
I
we
mean?
couldn't get the time off. I think that was the thing.
Yeah,
And then we're
yeah,
like, fuck, let's go to Mark One Madness. And we were trying to fucking
yeah.
go everywhere, dude.
I know.
I was,
It was just like you said though. It was like it was just an excuse to kick it. You
yeah.
know,
No, we would
like
hit up skate parks, dude. As in, you know, he'd be like, let's just go check
all the
out
time.
this park. Let's go check out the Oakland DIY park. And we just roll Mark
Yeah,
Ones everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
Hell
fucking,
yeah.
those were the days, dude.
Yeah, that was a blast, man.
I
Throw my
miss,
bike on top. Had a little rack for it.
yep. I just
That
do,
rack came from you, actually.
yeah. It
Yeah,
was in my
that rack
garage.
came from you. Yep,
I had it on that. That was one of the things we did that day when we sucked in your bumpers.
it
We
was.
threw the
You're right.
rack on it.
Yeah, do the rack.
That was
Yeah,
sick. Oh
man.
fuck, we gotta find that car, dude. Get that shit back.
I know, huh?
Meech
I'll
has
buy
got
it
the
back.
caddy,
Decent.
so we're still good there.
Yeah, yeah. He's the most logical of all of us,
Yeah.
I think. You know what I mean?
That's why he's in the crew, dude. That's why we had to have the trifecta.
Yeah, he brings the balance.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
you're like changing your mind
I'm
every
like,
13
yeah, dude.
seconds.
I'm like the OCD guy, but I'm like the Stoke man, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I like stoke us all up to do shit, and Meech is always like, okay, let's be rational now.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like the only one that owns cars for like more than 2 years.
100%. I'm glad he ended up with that caddy though. He takes such good
Oh,
fucking care of that thing, dude.
yeah,
He,
for sure. Me
dude,
too, man.
he loves that.
Yeah,
thing.
that was a cool fucking car.
Yeah, yeah, man.
For sure.
He has
Yeah.
plans to bring it up here for a show in Oregon
Oh, really?
in September. So
Hell yeah.
that'd be rad, dude. We just
Yeah.
gotta find that Mark One Jetta coupe and get that and hook
You
up.
find it. Let me know. I'll drop some shit in the mail right quick and
Oh, so you fucking got rid of that down in LA. And so what were you driving when you were working at West Coast? Were you driving the
uh
VW?
I actually still had the Jetta coupe then. I don't think I
Sick.
got rid of the coupe until probably right before I left.
That'd be dope.
Um
You like drive a Jetta Mark One Jetta coupe to West Coast and they're like, hey man, I still put some flamethrowers on the front of this thing.
No fish bowls, bro. No fish bowls. Like we stay away from that shit.
Hey bro, you need a screen. You need like a DVD monitor in your rear bumper, dude.
Yeah.
They
So
did some clean
stupid.
stuff though, right? It wasn't always like all
They
crazy shit
they had
stuff.
some clean stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Did you mess with
Um,
any of the hot rod stuff they were doing for a
I,
while?
I started to a little bit before I left.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, man, my time there was kind of short.
Mm-hmm.
Willingly, it was short
Mm.
because it was like, I mean, you get the idea from all the shows and everything that like you work crazy hours and like you actually fucking do, man.
Mm.
It was, working like 6 days a week, and like, it wasn't strange to have an 18-hour shift.
Shit.
I think the longest shift I had there was 27 hours straight.
27 fucking hours straight.
Yeah. And like
Damn.
at some point, bro, your brain just shuts
Well,
down.
dude, that's around the
You
time
know?
when all that drama started to pop off about them, like not paying people and fucking, shit
Yeah.
like that.
And that's just kind of when it kind of came more into the light publicly.
Mm-hmm.
Cause it's funny, man, like, cause that's why I left essentially. But the more I talk to people in the industry, and it's funny, like you realize how small the industry is,
Mhm. Yeah.
and just like how small the world really is,
Right.
like as you grow and like, as you get older, it's like, it's crazy, man. But everyone I talk to that used to work there has the same story as me,
Shit.
and so yeah, it's just kind of one of those things. But it kind of sucks that I wasn't able to be there longer,
Mhm.
because even in the short amount of time that I was there, dude, it was so sick. I learned so much there, like
sick.
just in the short amount of time.
Well, I mean, 27-hour shifts, bro.
What's that?
I said 27-hour shifts. You're gonna learn. some
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah. That's a bit much.
That's
But
crazy, dude.
so the dude that hired me, actually, Esteban, he left shortly before I did,
Oh,
and he actually went to work for Tesla, building their concept cars.
oh, sick.
And so I don't know if he's still I actually still keep in contact with him.
Nice.
And then his brother Tony, I keep in contact with also.
Dude,
He has a street bike, so we actually go riding every once in a while on the weekends.
nice. Damn, that's
Um,
crazy. You've been in the street bikes for a while. You've got the gnarliest scar I've ever fucking seen, dude.
yeah, it's a bit large.
Fuck, dude. That's what keeps me off of them, dude. I
Yeah,
can barely handle a fixie, bro.
I'm a lot more calm now, man. I'm a lot more calm, a lot more. I'm a little more grown. I'm like, if I fall, bro, I don't get back up as fast anymore.
Dude, that's crazy, man. So
Yeah.
you did the West Coast thing, took off. Did you stay within the industry after that? Because
I did. So I got an offer to work at a shop in Long Beach at that point,
mm,
and it was just like the money was almost double what I was making.
damn.
And so I was like, I'm not gonna say no,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And even though it was like an hour drive on the bike, because I was traveling from like the Valley all the way to Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I worked at that shop, and I ended up being a shop manager there within like a month.
Damn. Was it a Euro shop? Like was it kind of
Um, it
everything?
was it was kind of a mix. It was a strange shop. I'm gonna be honest with you,
All right.
but it was like they had This is gonna be embarrassing, bro, but they had like a niche for smart cars.
Smart cars?
But it, but it wasn't only smart cars. That's what I have to back it up with. So so it was like the owner was like he was like a vacuum salesman, and then he was like an enthusiast or like a hobbyist. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so he like wanted to start his own car thing, and I guess he was like in Europe and was like, man, like there's a lot of like custom shit you could do, bro.
To a
I'm not
smart
even,
car?
but anyway, yeah, it was crazy,
Did
man.
you
The
have to
stuff he
test
was
drive
doing
them?
to it,
You had to drive a bunch of smart cars, didn't you?
oh, bro. They would always fuck with me. They're like, oh, let me take a picture. I'm like, don't you fucking dare take a picture of me driving this
I would have
thing.
loved to have been some random ass person driving around Long Beach and pull up to a light next to you in a fucking smart car.
But they worked on like shit that no one else really fucked with. Like we did some cool shit. Was like Alpha 4C,
Oh,
you
sick.
know.
Yeah.
I did I took part in like an aerial atom there that we built up.
Nice. Fuck yeah, dude.
Um,
Those are sick.
I did so that aerial atom is actually owned by the guy who owns Chemical Guys, the
Oh
detail company,
shit. Oh fuck.
and Paul, yeah.
Nice.
So he basically brought it in. Somehow he knew the owner and they were linked up or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
he brought it in. So we did like custom HREs on it because it's
Ooh,
like a weird offset, weird bolt pattern, whatever.
damn.
Excuse me. And
Did that was
we
that
ended up.
the what- did that that aerial atom, is that the one that had the cobalt motor in it?
It was the Honda.
Okay. Yeah,
It was the
cuz
Honda
I
motor.
rode in one at like a track day
Uh huh.
down in at Laguna Seca
Okay.
back when I had my R32. And that was like the gnarliest fucking, we were just like
Dude,
fucking passing everything, dude. It
it was
was
so sick.
fucking
That
gnarly.
thing was so sick. And I actually I'm still like somewhat in contact with Paul. One of the guys I worked with at that shop now runs the Chemical Guys in Torrance down
Sick.
here.
Sick.
So we're still linked up. Like we still have like a connection, but we ended up because it comes with like a disgusting exhaust on it, bro. It's like a fucking trash can with like some pipes on it. Like it looks terrible, you know?
So you did a
And
custom exhaust
so
on it? And then
yeah,
HREs? Oh,
so
dude.
I did a full custom exhaust and I ended up using two carbon Yoshimura R77 exhausts
Sick.
or like mufflers from
Yeah.
like street bike, you know?
Uh-huh.
So I did two of those and like staggered them a little bit and like did full stainless, like
Sick.
taped everything. It was tight, man.
Dude, that's dope.
It sounded so good.
Dude, the
Like,
fucking one I rode in, I think it had the supercharged cobalt motor,
ooh,
right? It was like the
okay.
2.2 or 2.3. And the dude like showed up at the track day in Laguna, and like, you ever been to a track day there, like rich dudes just show up by themselves.
Yeah.
So I'd have a helmet and just walk around and be like, "Can I ride with you? Can I ride with you? Can I ride with
Hell
you?"
yeah.
And I rode in like so many dope cars that day, but one of them was an Aerial Atom, and the dude drove it all the way from Seattle, Washington, down to Laguna.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
ripped it on the fucking track and then drove it all the way back up. And he was like, "Oh
Whoa.
yeah, it rained like fucking 3 hours out of Seattle down to like Northern
Oh my
California the whole time he was
That's
driving."
intense.
I was like, "Dude, that's gnarly." He had like a rain parka on, dude.
Yeah.
I would love to see that dude on the fucking freeway, like
Yes. Me too.
ripping
bro.
in the rain.
Me too.
I
Man,
just
I've driven some pretty cool cars, but like that thing, I always made an excuse to go test drive that car.
fuck, dude.
Always.
I've never felt anything pull like that, and we were just toasting fucking everything on the track, dude. Like,
Oh, I bet.
everything.
They're
Ferraris, fucking Z06 Vets, fucking race
Yeah.
cars, dude. It didn't matter. That thing just fucking
Yeah.
the amount of speed that thing could carry into a turn and then late
Yeah.
brake like every turn.
Yep.
Dude, it's like it was a giant go-kart. It's a fucking
Yeah.
giant go-kart.
legit.
And I
Yeah.
don't like so those things are like just all fucking bars.
Yep.
Right, so I remember riding in it and fucking, we did a couple laps around Laguna and getting out and being like, holy shit, that was crazy. But I didn't realize like my side and elbow, I was just like fucking bumping on all these, and I was like, fuck, dude,
Yeah.
I felt like someone straight kicked me in the ribs 10 times. It was
Yeah.
gnarly.
It's just like when we go ride or race go-karts, bro. Like
Mhm.
the next day, you're like, "Oh my god, what happened? I just got the shit beat out of me."
We never much raced go-karts as like bumper cart.
Yes, yes.
everyone gets black flagged.
Like, "Hey, one."
Dude, I snapped a control arm on a go-kart on one of our Le Mans sessions.
Oh shit! Nice.
The dude was like, that's our best cart. I was like, that's my bad.
Not anymore.
It's a control arm, dude. Come on, bro.
Right.
You got
Just
this.
a controller.
Oh shit. So then you're
Yeah.
down in LA, you're working at this other shop, you're kinda getting you get your hands on a bunch of other cool shit.
Yeah.
Were you driving a VW at that time? Because you had a Passat,
I had the
right?
Mark One then.
Okay.
I had the Mark One then, and then we
Sick.
still had the Golf then also.
Nice.
Yeah. So we
TDI.
just we held on to those. I held on to them for a while actually, but I was commuting every day so far
Mhm.
that I just commuted on my street bike.
Nice.
You know, so I didn't really spend too much time in the cars.
It just kept the
most
miles
of the
off
time-
them too.
Yeah, most of the time the Mark One sat under a car cover, and you
Mhm.
know the Mark Six was daily. So
I think I remember when you sold it, you hit me up and you're like, fuck, dude, I sold the Jetta. I was like,
probably
what?
with some like crying face emojis
You
and shit,
did,
man.
dude.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
I was like, no. You're like, dude, I never drive it.
Yeah, I
like,
didn't either. It was a tough time, man, on a lot of different levels. So
Well, I remember what you bought it for, which was fucking ridiculous. It was
Yep.
like ridiculous what you bought it for. And then I
yeah.
remember what you sold it for, and then I was like, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, I mean, I like quadrupled my profit.
I was like, fuck, dude, why didn't you hit me up? I would have bought it. You're like, bro, I got this much for it. I was like, oh, never mind. Good
Yeah,
job, bro.
I couldn't have done that to you. There's no way. I couldn't have done that. Like, believe me, I would have loved to give it to you, even though I know it probably would have been gone in like 2 months. At best.
I would have offered it back to you. And I'm like, hey, you want this Jetta back?
Yeah, in hindsight, that probably would have been the best idea, but
I
you
don't
know,
that thing was so clean. I might have held on to that one.
maybe for 3 months.
Then you ended up in Vegas.
I did.
And then
yeah.
was that when you got kind of out of it, and is that when you started doing all the fitness training stuff?
Yeah, I mean, so when I was after I left that shop, excuse me, I went up and was working at a Lamborghini shop up here in the valley,
Oh shit.
and I was there for I don't know, almost a year, something like that, and obviously worked on some pretty dope shit there.
Were you doing like fucking? What were you doing? Were you a technician? Or
I
were you
mean,
doing just
Everything from general maintenance to fucking supercharger installs, nitrous, like
damn.
it's like, you know, those people have like that fuck you money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
don't give a shit. And it's like a lot of the stuff we did, it was like repeat customers, of course, you know. But it was cool because I got to dive into a lot of shit that I didn't know about, you know. I've never been like a supercar kind of guy or like an exotic car kind of guy, you know. I think just in my mindset was like, I'm never going to be able to afford that shit.
Right.
So what's the point in like being the guy with, being the kid? I never was with that kid with like a Lamborghini on my wall,
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wasn't,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of grew up a little different, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But so it was cool, man. It was cool to see, like, because we saw everything from, a Countach to a Diablo. We had both those in the shop, and then like,
Sick.
of course, Gallardo's all over the place. Those are like the Civic of a Lamborghini. Um,
The dude in the
and then,
Aventador is like fucking Gallardo guys, dude.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
it's like the
yeah,
Mark
pretty
II guys
much.
talking shit about the Mark III guys.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah.
That's
And
hilarious.
just like the Mercy, like the Gallardo to the Mercy to the Huracan, the Aventador, like I mean, the Huracan and the Aventador are like light years ahead of anything else that they've ever made. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's like because that's when Audi took them over, or Volkswagen. But you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
you're working on an Aventador, and you're changing the alternator, and you're putting on a fucking Audi stamped alternator. It's
You're
like
like, shit, this is the same one that was on my A4.
right, right. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool though, man. So I got to do a lot of cool shit there for what it was worth, learn some new like systems and shit, you know what I mean?
That's dope,
Uh,
dude.
but yeah, then I left there and went to Dallas actually. I was in Dallas for a year.
Dallas, damn. I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah. And that was rough, man. I wasn't thinking going to Dallas. I'm like looking the way that I do, and then going to like the fucking Bible Belt, bro. It was like it didn't matter what my resume said at that point. They were just like, "Nah, I'm good." But
Oh,
it's cool,
dude.
man. It was honestly like I kind of, to be honest, I was kind of burnt on the
Mm-hmm.
industry at that point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'd been through a lot of shit in the prior like 2 years.
Yeah.
Um, 2-3 years. So it was just like it's just my time to like kick back. You
Damn,
know.
dude, but like from like graduating automotive school to like TST, West Coast Customs, other shops, and then like working at Lamborghini or at a
Yeah.
Lamborghini shop.
Right.
That's a gnarly kind of career, dude. For, you know.
It was cool, man, and I think I I learned a lot, and I'm obviously very grateful for the experiences that I had.
Mhm.
Like I said, I don't regret any of it. My whole thing with working on cars was, I always wanted dope shit,
Yeah.
but I never really thought I would be able to afford all the dope shit I wanted. So I was like, well, I got to figure out how to do it myself then.
Yeah.
And it just kind of worked out. You know,
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, even at this point, I've kind of like calmed down, in the industry.
Mhm.
I'm not so much ready to jump back into anything just yet, and
Mhm.
and I don't know what the future holds. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm still kind of like I still get psyched when I see like an old air cooled that's dumped all cambered out.
Yeah.
Like I still get psyched on that stuff, but. It's just I've been doing the fitness thing for a while now, and just
Dude, that's
kind of
sick.
trying to get my own shit going, man. Like just changing the mindset.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Like
sure.
kind of it's tough when you spent so many years like and essentially like your whole life, like thinking one way,
Mhm.
to going into something where you're like, no, I can do this. I can make this work,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
And it's just tough to like figure out how, you know?
Right.
Because I was never like someone that was, I was always like, I'm gonna do my 9 to 5,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna give it everything I have, and I'm gonna let my work speak for itself.
Mhm.
And that always did well for me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I liked doing what I did because it was like I could, for the most part, if I wanted to, I could be quiet and fucking just listen to music and work on cars all day.
Yeah.
And it's dope. I still love that idea,
Mhm. Mhm.
and that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna maybe do some little side shit on my own. Like
Yeah.
I would love to have a house with a garage and a lift.
Right.
Give me a welder, some shit I can fab stuff up with, and like, I mean, just do some shit on the side. Like just have fun with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But transferring that, trying to transfer your mindset into something where you're like being more of an entrepreneur,
Mhm.
and like trying to figure out how to make a business work from by yourself and like
Yeah.
on your own.
Yeah.
I just never really had to think about that.
Mhm.
there was always someone else like that had the business, you know,
Right.
had the business, you know,
Yeah.
he went through all that stuff. And so I just went in and did my best,
You're like,
you
I'm
know?
coming in here with my skill sets. You just need to cut me a check every week.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
gonna be
Exactly.
back here welding brackets.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Bracket after bracket after bracket.
Nah, dude, I fucking man, it's crazy to see how much time has passed, you know, and how everything is gone, dude, and to see your path, man. And yeah, dude, I remember, man, like the early days of you at TST, kind of green, just getting into it, and then
Yeah,
fucking,
for
you
sure.
know, where you're at toward
For
the end.
sure.
It's
I
fucking
and
crazy.
it's like, man, like I have a lot of respect for Tim and like what he's built,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I mean a lot of it he kind of did on his own, you know, like Ken's been with him through the whole thing, you know what I mean? But like Ken's just kind of like the crazy guy in the front office, you know. I love Ken, don't get me wrong,
We
but
all love Ken.
yeah, but I mean I learned a lot from them, man. Like from Tim, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
he's a fucking he's like a Rolodex, bro. Like it's
Dude,
crazy,
that
you know.
guy, fucking Tim Tomas, is like a straight up legend, dude. And that guy just
Yeah.
is like, it impresses me every time I like hang out with him or hang around him. You know,
Yeah.
like I would
Yep.
show up at the shop with like nothing to do on the day, and I would be like, I'm just gonna hear and watch. I just want to watch what you do, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fucking gnarly, dude. That guy's like 9 steps ahead of everything that he does. Like he,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean, plans out what he's doing that far ahead, and
Yeah.
it's fucking gnarly to watch him work.
And that's what's cool, man. Like, cause I feel like a lot of times, you know, when you're learning something, especially like if it's a trade like that,
Mm-hmm.
the person you learn it from or how you go about attaining that knowledge and that work ethic at that point is so critical
Right.
to the whole rest of your career.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you learn from some like half-ass shitbag
Mm.
that like hacks stuff and like it doesn't matter like a lot of times anyway, it doesn't matter what your potential is.
Yeah.
But if you learn a fucked up way, you're gonna keep doing it a fucked up way.
The bad habits are the worst to break, dude. Especially when you're
Yeah,
learning shit. You know, you
yeah,
gotta unlearn all the bullshit that you learn to relearn shit the right way. And that goes
yeah,
for fucking everything.
yep,
You know,
for
I'm
sure.
learning that about the drums. Like
Yeah,
taught myself how to play the drums, and then I'll like take lessons and be like, fuck, this is 10 times harder than I thought it was gonna be. I'm doing all of this wrong.
I don't know, man. I remember you used to smash on those things, and I'm like, I'm not musically inclined at all. So I mean, everything
If
is
you can
pretty damn.
kind of keep a beat and just play fast, everyone thinks you know what you're doing.
Yeah, well, and I mean, you know, punk rock is like it can sound like complete dog shit. No one gives a fuck. They're just like, yeah.
Exactly. Uh, Dude, that's crazy, man. You have had a crazy career, and then, yeah, dude, like everything that you do, and that's why I've always respected you, and why I think like we became such tight homies is with the car stuff that you just carry everything that you do over into everything that you do. Like it's not just car stuff. You have that same mentality, you know, like with the fitness stuff. You're like,
Yeah.
no, dude, I'm gonna get on this track and fucking. You went from like my size to like fucking Hulk Beast and.
It's
no
all or
time.
nothing, man. You know, it's all or nothing,
But
and
it's
that's
that mindset, dude, and I like would bleed some of
yeah,
that off of you, you know.
yeah.
So
No, that's cool, man. I appreciate that. It's been like it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. You know what I mean? Like in some ways, it's like okay, cool, that played out well for me, and then in other ways, it's like I probably shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? So, no, it's cool. I mean, you know, learning the fitness stuff is um, it's been interesting.
hmm
You know, because that's one market that's so saturated
yeah,
that it's like everybody, you know, works out for 3 months and lose 5 pounds, and then they're like, I'm an Instagram trainer. Like, cool, bro. But like, just like you were saying, you know, like I even when I was, you know, I was working at TST and you know, I had started like getting into fitness then and whatever
hmm
and working out and like as I'm working my daily job, you know, on my lunch breaks, I would be like Googling shit, you
hmm
know, and like figuring things out. Cause
yeah,
like just like with cars, I have to know how the human body works,
mm
you know? So I was always like, I was just applying that same principles and concepts to like figuring out how to do this shit, you know?
Yeah.
And I've been so fucked up with injuries and all that shit for so long.
Yeah.
A lot of it I just kind of had to try to figure out like how to make it work for me,
Right.
you know?
Dude.
So yeah, it's been interesting, but it's cool, man. Like now the biggest hurdle is just, I guess it's not even really a hurdle. It's just like you kind of wait it out, like let people see, like, you know, let the shit speak for itself, you know.
Right. Yeah.
It's like I did when I would go to work, you know.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So,
A lot of shit's gonna work
yeah.
out for you for sure, dude. But dude,
Yeah,
one
was
part
cool.
that we missed, dude, didn't you were in Vegas for a while, and didn't you have a murdered Passat? Passat?
Oh, I had a CC, yeah.
CC, that's right.
Yeah, I actually picked that up when I was in Dallas, right before I moved.
Oh shit.
And yeah, that thing was, again, that was kind of like the Mark IV, bro. It was like stupid low. It was like, and at that point, like, I think you and I both came to the same conclusion at some point that if you're gonna daily something that's gonna be stupid fucking low, just buy Racelands. Don't waste your money on like something
Expensive
that's,
coils
you know,
and ruining them.
yeah. I mean, you're just gonna blow the seals and like, you know. So
Dude,
yeah,
I
but
remembered you sending me some pictures of that, and then it got fucking KO'd, right?
yeah, yeah,
Damn.
great LA traffic, bro. Like people just stop out of nowhere on the freeway.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that was a clean car, man. I actually, it's funny because I always wanted a big body like that. I always loved Meech's Passat.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just because it's like a big body, like, you know, like being somewhat of a bigger guy, it's just more comfortable. You know.
Yeah.
And bro, that thing was like super clean. I think I bought it with like 20,000 miles on it or something. And yeah, it was super clean. It was like a lease return or some shit. And the only thing that I was bummed about was that it was a 2-liter. I wanted the VR in it. But no, it was cool, man. I threw it on some Racelands and like just dumped it, put some rotiforms on it, and
I think it was
tinted
gangster looking.
like
Murdered
I did
everything
like
out.
thermal tint, and then like 20% on the windshield, so you couldn't see in or out of that motherfucker, but it looked dope.
It was so gangster, dude.
Yeah,
Was that
form
the-
over function, bro?
Was that the last Volkswagen that you'd owned?
Yeah, that actually got KO'd like last year.
Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
I remember when you texted me. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
That's
so that was it, man. Like, and I honestly don't know, like, cause I think about it a lot. I don't even know what I would pick up next.
Mark
you
1
know?
Jetta Coupe.
I got the key, bro.
That's a
Don't-
great question for you, though, dude. If you got back into a Volkswagen, what would it be? Would it even be a Volkswagen? Be another Mark 1 Audi TT? I had a couple of those.
I wouldn't have another TV.
Neither would I.
It's almost embarrassing to admit that I had 2 of them to begin with.
They were so sexy to me, dude, and then I picked one up, and I was like, I fucking hate this car.
Man, when they first came out, bro, I was
Oh,
like,
fuck yeah, dude.
I remember seeing that car at the dealership, and I was like,
100%,
drooling.
dude. When I first saw a Mark 1 Audi TT, it was an aviator gray, and I was with some homies, and we were skating like a ledge or something, dude, and this dude rolls up
Yeah.
to a bank in a fucking suit and shit, and he gets out of it, and I was like, oh, fuck, dude, because they just look so fucking different from everything else on the road
Yeah.
at the time.
Especially that time, yeah.
Yeah, and it had to have been like 2000, 2001 or some shit.
Yeah, 2000 was the first year they came out here.
And I always wanted one. And then I found an Aviator Gray 225 in Portland for like $2,500. It was the
Damn.
worst financial
That was
decision
a
I ever
steal.
made. No, it wasn't.
I mean, but I will say, from afar,
Yeah.
that car looked dope as fuck. For Mark 1 TT, like the color combination, like
dude,
the whole interior shit you had going on with it, it was
I
dope.
loved the idea of that car, but it
Yeah.
was just a straight up nightmare money pit. And I was
Yeah.
like, man, I need to get
And that's
ready."
pretty much a TT in a nutshell right there.
Yeah.
Which is funny, man, because it's not really that complicated of a car.
No, it's
You know what I
essentially
mean?
a Mark IV R32 with a 1.8T.
Yeah. It really is, but it's like for some reason they're just like this clusterfuck of problems.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it never made much sense to me, but
I don't
I
know.
had all kinds of problems with my first one.
I was probably like 30 owners deep in the mine, dude. That's probably what the
Yeah,
main issue was. Like, people get
yeah,
those cars, they don't take care of it, you know, they don't get the fucking maintenance and shit done, and they just deteriorate until like some dumbass like me finds one on Facebook Marketplace, like, oh, this is a deal, and you
yeah.
get it, and it's
I
just like,
feel like, yeah, I feel like honestly, that's a big part of like where the automotive industry is gone.
mm-hmm.
You know, like even like you look at luxury cars, like we bought a Maserati from the dealer, and it's certified pre-owned.
Mm,
I mean, when we bought it, it had like 18,000 miles on it.
damn,
You know, so it's essentially new.
yeah,
You know, it's had like 2 oil changes in its life. You
shit,
know, um, but that's the problem though. Like they're just like throwaway cars. You know what I mean? Like
mm,
people buy them and they don't take care of them. You
yeah,
know, and they're just like, oh well, I'll get another one. It goes back to like that fuck you money. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
Like it's kind of crazy, but like the Volkswagen scene, I feel like isn't really like that. You
mm,
know, maybe with the TTs it was
yeah,
because they were like, they thought it was like at that time it was like a high roller car. You know what I
right,
mean?
yeah,
Like pre R8 type shit. You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but but I don't know, man. I still see a lot of. Actually, I saw a clean ass Mark 7 GTI today on the road,
no shit,
and it was like lowered. Just a clean car, man.
mm-hmm,
Like I mean, how I've always done things. Like I've
yeah,
always just like, I've liked this simple side of things.
subtle,
You know,
yep,
I never liked like overdone shit. Like
mm-hmm,
I've always taken pride in like having a car that you look at and you're like, damn, that thing looks dope. But why does it
why,
look so
yeah,
cool?
yeah, yeah.
You know, like
How
why
does
does it?
that look different from all the other Mark fucking
Yeah,
sixes or
whatever's. You
whatever?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's always been really cool. But it's weird now though, because like part of me, I'm so used to being in a Volkswagen,
Mm-hmm.
that when I see something like that, I'm like, I want to be like, oh, damn, that's dope, like whatever. But now I feel like people are going to be like, the fuck is this dude driving a Maserati or like on this like Ducati? Like, why is he like weird ass dude? Like, you know what I mean?
Dude, I drive I daily a Ford Raptor, right? A Gen 1
Yeah,
Raptor. And
those are dope.
dude, I fucking love that truck so much. But like
Yeah.
I'll see like a slammed Mark II or something, I'll chase it down and be like, yeah, and the fucking dude's like, whoa, what the fuck? This guy in the truck's trying to run me off the road. And I'm like, nah, dude, dope car.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny, man. I see some pretty dope like air cooled out here too.
Sick. Yeah,
And
man.
those are the ones that I'm like, I don't give a fuck what they think. I'm just like, deuces, bro. That shit's fucking tight.
Maybe that's what you're gonna get into, dude, bro. Maybe it's gonna come around full circle and you'll be in some air cooled shit.
I might, man. I don't know. I mean, I've done fucking full like body off pan restos on that shit, like
There you go, dude.
everything. So I know that shit pretty well.
You need to find some deals, dude, and
Yeah,
start fucking
maybe.
building some
I
air
don't
cooled.
know, bro. That shit's like, that shit's almost probably that shit's more than my fucking Maserati.
You got to get into the Super Beetles.
Yeah.
Try to make those cool.
Oh, those are so ugly, bro. The interior, like I've always been an interior guy. Like
Yeah.
for some reason, like if the interior's fucked off, I'm like, nope, can't do it. We actually went and looked before we bought the Maserati. Like we were looking at SUVs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been like Audi, Volkswagen. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, buts. Like that's all I'm getting. You know. And for some reason, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's look at everything. You know. But we went and looked at the what's the new Atlas Cross Sport?
Yeah. Yeah. The big
I'm
V
like,
dub.
yeah. I'm like, those are dope, man. I love the way they look on the outside.
Yeah.
They
I
look
like those
super
too.
cool. And then I got inside and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, it just looks so basic, man. Like, I was kind of bummed because I was really looking forward to that car,
Mhm. Yeah.
And I feel like, we looked at the Q5 too. And I think it would have to be an SQ5 if I did it,
Mhm. That's
because
a
I feel like the
premium.
Audis they're like, they don't really change much,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they're kind of sleepers. And we already have an Audi,
Mhm.
and like the interior would look pretty damn similar,
Mhm. Yeah.
So it's like I want something that's different, you know what I mean? But I
Here
did
comes
I
the
did give
Roddy.
them a fair shot, before we picked this up.
Oh fuck, man, it's all good.
Yeah,
I wonder what we get you back into.
I don't know,
You
man.
need
Like,
another water cooled Volkswagen in your life, man. or air
I know,
cooled.
because I want to be able to road trip it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. I don't want to get your ass up here, dude.
I
Doing some
know.
shows.
You know, honestly, I've been thinking about getting a G body though, like old Monte
Ooh.
Carlo, and
Okay.
I mean, being in SoCal, it's kind of like, you know, I mean, putting something on some juices sounds pretty nice about
I
now.
remember you texting me all that. You're like
Yeah,
the Facebook group or the Facebook marketplace.
yeah,
Remember you were sending me a bunch of them.
yeah,
I was like, ooh, that one's sick.
yeah, yeah.
All right, I'll.
We'll see, man. The nice thing is, like, I've always had respect for like every kind of car,
Mm-hmm.
if it's well built.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can appreciate good fabrication and good work. Like, doesn't matter what it is, you know. But my heart definitely always pulls towards a Volkswagen, you know.
Yeah.
So
Sick.
I don't know, man.
We'll get you back in one, dude. I miss texting you back and forth about all the fucking Volkswagen problems we'd have with our cars.
Dude, the countless nights and like countless hours we would spend like going back and forth on like tirestretch.com and like
Dude, I
like,
think
trying to
if
figure
I
out-
get these adapters, I think I can make these wheels work. It might have to shave them down like 2 mil.
Dude, oh my
Yo,
god.
what do you think about these? What do you think about these?
Well, the
dude.
best part is I always remember like you coming up with like some like off the wall shit where I'm like, I don't know how that's gonna look, bro. And then like you put it on, I'm like, okay. So I stopped
Trust me,
questioning
dude.
your ideas.
Trust me, dude. Just trust me. It's gonna work.
But it's funny because that kind of came full circle for me with the Jetta Coupe. Because I remember I was picking out those clutch wheels, and they were like, because the Jetta Coupe was like a champagne.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I want these like
the clutch
black-
mesh with the black
with
centers.
with the gold center.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Center.
That's
And
right.
I don't
The
know,
opposite.
bro. I'm like, just trust me. Just wait. and actually, they turned out pretty cool. You're
No,
like,
they
okay.
turned out fucking perfect, dude. Yeah. That
Yeah.
car was
And I was running
sick.
like a 165
Mhm.
on those.
40.
165, 45.
45.
Or 40. 40 or 45.
They
Yeah.
were kind of stretched.
Yeah.
You were aired, dude.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But they went on like butter, bro. I was like all prepared to like, you know, get the cheetah out, be blasting these things. And it was just like, boop, like, what the fuck? Why are these the easiest
Hey,
tires I've ever put on?
That worked.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
That was good times, man.
Great
I gotta
times.
say, I love watching your collection as it goes. Like, you know, I'm like, oh, that's new. I didn't see that one last week in his garage.
Dude, I got so bad, but I was having this talk with a buddy the other day, my buddy Chris. And we were just like, you know, it wasn't my buddy Chris, it was another buddy, and he was saying that same thing, you know, like, dude, you go through too many cars, you just need to like stick with some stuff. And I'm like, bro, I like hit like a realization that like YOLO, dude, you know, like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
one thing if I had like sentimental like attached to a like a car, if it was like a sentimental
Right.
thing, which I've never had, you know.
Right.
The Mark IV R32 is like probably the one that I let get away, you know, that I probably
Yeah,
should have
that's your
kept.
Jetta Coupe. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
besides that, it's just like, dude, why not like get into something, you know, throw some suspension on it, make it look cool, and then even if you flip it for breaking even, you got to say you owned it, you got to experience it, and then you just keep it rolling. So that's
Yeah.
kind of, you know, that's kind of how like my mindset's been. It's just like I want to own all these cars that I couldn't afford when I was younger, or
Right.
whatever, you know. That's how the Audi TT stuff happened, and I've had some regrets along the way. I ditched, you know, a Windsor Blue Mark III VR, which I kind of miss now. I had a Mark II GTI not too long ago that
Yeah.
probably should have kept. But fuck, dude, you know, I just want to like own all the things.
I kind of feel like what's cool about it is like you get to be able to do all of the things like we would talk about, like, oh, bro, can you imagine like these wheels on this car
Yeah.
or like this setup? Like you're not just like playing it out and be like, oh, this would be tight. Like you're
Yeah.
actually like putting it in the garage and doing the work, and then you're like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like move on.
That's part
You
of it, man. Just getting dirty,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
It's another thing
It's cool,
too.
man. Like I have a lot of respect for that, you know, and like you've definitely like kept it rolling all these years, you know. I kind of fell off a little bit, so you know.
Well, fuck, dude. If we didn't
You're
get.
picking up for what I've lost though, so you know.
I'm trying, dude. I'm
Yeah.
trying. I'm gonna get something. I'm just gonna get something and ship it to you one day. Just be like, oh, you got a VW now.
Just show up in it, bro. Just show up in it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna snipe you and just show up and be like, hey, bro, I got your new car. You're like, oh, Mark III Cabrio? Okay.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God.
Fuck.
Like, that could be the worst thing I could possibly get for him. That would be it, bro. Mark III Cabby.
You would sport a Mark III Cabby hard, dude.
I would make it work. I would make it work.
You would.
Bro. Yeah.
Yeah, you would.
That shit would be scraping the ground everywhere I went.
All right, that's
the
your
only
next
way.
Volkswagen. We
Yeah.
stamped it. I'm gonna look for a Mark III Cabby, and you're in it. I just see your ass driving around in it.
Seat pushed all the way back just so I can fit in, motherfucker.
Gangster
Yeah.
lean, dude.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So
I'm down.
Oh, dude.
Dogs in the back.
Hell yeah. I miss
Yeah.
you, dude. I miss chatting,
Miss
man.
you too,
I miss our days, man. I like all the shit you're doing now, dude. It's great that you're
Thanks.
like on your path with your fitness stuff, dude, and you got
Thanks.
that rolling. Cause I just know your mentality. I know how you do shit, and I know all that stuff's gonna work out for you. And I wanted to get you on the podcast and chat about the good old Volkswagen days, dude. And hopefully, maybe I can maybe this will like a little spark you a little bit.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
start looking and be like, fuck, man, that podcast is right. I need to get another Volkswagen.
Yeah. I mean, we got the space. We just moved into a new spot over here, so we got a garage and shit now, which
Sick.
it's kind of hard to come by in LA. So, you
Well,
know.
dude, be prepared for me to spam your fucking, spam your phone with fucking Mark III cabbies down in that area.
Emails.
Go get this one, dude. Go look at it.
I'll take
Fuck,
it.
dude.
I'll take it. No, I miss
Man.
you too, man. It's been many years of many good memories, you know.
Fuck yeah, dude. These
And,
little cars will do that to you, man.
Yeah, yeah. I
What's
see
up?
that mask sitting behind your head there.
Fuck, dude.
I still got mine too.
Fuck yeah, dude. John Stairs was on the second episode of the podcast, and he's a huge Misfits fan. And I shouted it out. I was like, dude, my buddy Justin. Fuck yeah, I got that thing, dude.
Dude, that thing, I ran up. I don't even remember how I found it. It was like on Etsy or something.
I
And
can't
it
remember
was
how you
like-
found it either. You just showed up to my house with it one day. You're like, bro, I got you something. I was like, what? You're like, it's a crimson mask. I was like, what the fuck? That's random but awesome.
It was something I found somehow. And like the dude made like movie masks, you know? And he like had made like a handful of the Crimson Ghost masks, and I was like, fuck yeah, we need these.
That's so sick, dude.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm ordering 2 of these right now.
The most random gift, but the most awesome.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
sick, dude.
I actually still have your Misfit skateboard, man.
What?
Yeah.
The one I made for you? With
Yeah.
all the different color vinyl?
It's in my garage
Sick.
right now.
Is it, are you skating it?
No, it's
Oh,
still
it's a
like,
hanger?
yeah,
Sick.
yeah. You know what I also still have, which we didn't get into either, is my my fucking chimney sweep pen.
Oh shit! I remember that. The
Yeah.
money pen.
Yes, the money
Fucking-
pen.
And
Yeah,
it,
bro.
that was so great because that's the whole street sweeper story with your
Yeah.
Mark IV. And you get
Yep.
a money pen from a literal chimney sweep.
Yeah, literal chimney sweep.
Fuck, dude. Man, I want to thank you so much for being on the podcast, bro.
Hey, man, thank you. Honestly, it was an honor, you know.
Man,
Like I said, man, like podcasts are nothing. Like it's just cool to be able to chop it up with you again, you know.
hell yeah, dude.
Been a
I'm
long
gonna
time.
fucking keep in touch, man. Like I said, I'm gonna
Sure.
bug you to get back and do another Volkswagen, bro. Even
Definitely.
if I have to buy that shit and send it to you.
Let's
I'll
get
just
it.
make
We'll
you do shit to it. I'll be like, hey man, this is my car, but you're gonna keep it for a little while. I need some brackets welded.
Yes, I got you. I'm the bracket master at this point.
Fuck yeah. Dude, Justin, thank you so much, bro.
Hey, thank you, brother.
I
Appreciate you.
appreciate you, man. Thanks,
All
dude.
right.